Sometimes, when driving in the rain, a maneuver that would normally be no problem in dry conditions can all of a sudden become very dangerous. To maintain traction, you need to know what kinds of surfaces reduce traction, be able to spot them in advance, and know how to adjust to them before it's too late. Anytime there's water on the road, your ability to stop and turn is affected. So, what can you do about wet weather besides complain? Mostly this. The best way to compensate for wet surfaces is to reduce your speed by about 20%. In town, that's a drop of about 5 miles per hour. On the highway, it's more like 10 miles per hour. And on the freeway, it's about 15. It's also important to be smooth with your braking and steering inputs. In summary, slippery surfaces call for gentle changes in speed and direction. When is water on the road the most slippery? Right, when it's frozen. Everyone knows that ice is slippery, but what many drivers don't know is just how slippery ice can be. In icy conditions, you can't drive at anywhere near the same speed. In fact, it can be dangerous to drive at all. Ice may appear in occasional patches, too. It can be colder in spots out of direct sunlight, so you're more likely to encounter ice in the shadows of buildings and overpasses. Plus, bridges tend to ice over first, since there's no warm ground directly below them. When you can, avoid ice by sticking to roads that have been cleared. But when you do come to an icy section, sometimes you don't have much choice, except to slow way down and make any necessary turns very gradually. Some of us see very little snow, and others see far too much of it. When it comes to traction and stopping and turning a car, snow is somewhere between water and ice. New snow generally offers a moderate amount of traction. Still, you need to drive slowly. Half speed is about right. And turn a little more gently. And slow down very carefully. While stopping on snow can be a problem, so can getting started. By applying power gently, your tires have a better chance of keeping their traction. The most important thing about traction is to recognize when you don't have it and know what to do about it. So, what's the challenge here? Adjusting to changing road conditions such as wet curves are one of the biggest problems for new drivers. Slowing down before the curve will help you get through it. What should you do here? When driving on snow-covered roads, drivers should reduce their speed at a minimum by half. What do you need to do here? That bridge may well freeze before this road does, so you need to slow down before reaching it. This much water on a highway creates a whole new problem. Here's how. At low speeds, the tire tread evacuates the water out from under the tire, helping to keep the tire in contact with the surface. As speed reaches about 35 miles per hour, the tires begin to have trouble evacuating the water. At about 55 miles per hour, the tires begin to fully ride up on top of the water. This is called hydroplaning. Since the tires have lost contact with the road, there's no way to steer the car, and you can quickly lose control. The best way to prevent hydroplaning is to avoid high speeds when there's standing water on the road surface. Having good tire tread helps too. Anytime you suspect you're hydroplaning, you need to slow down. Just gradually ease your foot off the accelerator and let the car coast. This will help transfer more weight to the front tires, which will increase their grip on the road. And steer very gently too, making no more movement than necessary. Here's another tip. Don't use cruise control in slick conditions, so that you can more quickly regain any lost traction by maintaining full control of the accelerator. Hydroplaning is dangerous, and the best way to prevent it is to identify wet roadways ahead and decrease your speed to make sure your tires stay in contact with the roadway.